Howdy, Tinker Nerds, and welcome to the comment show for making my Twitch-O-Matic. If you haven't seen it yet, you can use the links in the video description to get all caught up. Now, the beauty of this project is the fact that it is so easy to stream to Twitch using your private Twitch key. The private Twitch key is amazing, but you don't want to share it with anybody because if they do, you've exposed your streaming key to the public. No, that's impossible, you troll. I'm not that careless with my private key. I've started a stream there so nobody else can do any harm to your Twitch account. What? He can just reset the key. Right, simple. Okay, problem solved. Thanks, Epic Helper, and yes, I may or may not be a Brody. I cut a square hole on a paper. So is that a DIY Squarespace? I would say yes. You have created a square space. Well done, Marcus. Nice intro, by the way. Thanks. I do appreciate that. I hate new intro. Thanks. Appreciate that. I do not. Is there any lag when playing this and using the HDMI to CSI? So what I ended up doing here is running the gaming console to an HDMI splitter. And what that did was it allowed me to split it to the television, which had no lag, and then to the Twitch-O-Matic. And that had no lag either. The lag comes in whenever you're trying to stream it to Twitch. Is there a similar solution for capturing analog video? Since analog doesn't require as much data transfer as HDMI, you can use a regular USB analog video capture device that supports the Pi. And there's plenty of different ones out there, and you can get them for as cheap as like $15 on Amazon. So if you did want a simple, cheap way to capture analog video on the Raspberry Pi, that's probably a much better solution than the HDMI to CSI2 converter, which is like 5 times as much. Is there any way to incorporate the Streamlabs overlay? As far as I'm aware, there is not, and that is primarily because Streamlabs uses the Open Broadcast, the OBS. What does OBS stand for? I know you guys know. But as far as it running on the Raspberry Pi, I don't believe it's supported yet. So until OBS is supported on the Raspberry Pi, then probably not. Now, there's potentially alternatives that you could use, such as running the video through some Python programs to add overlays to it. Or maybe there's some other program available for the Raspberry Pi that allows you to add overlays to live stream. But I don't know any off the top of my head. Maybe you guys in chat might. Alright, so appreciate all the comments, guys. That's going to be it for the comment show this week. I know it's kind of quick. I'm a little bit short on time today. So let me just say that the Tinkernut Automation Contest is still going on. You can follow the link to my right, your left. Directions are confusing on live streams whenever you're looking at a mirror of yourself. But just follow the link to the automation contest and submit it if you have not already. It ends June 30th. You still have a little bit of time, and there's plenty of prizes. So get it out there. All right, there will be a new tutorial next Saturday. That tutorial is going to be how to make a wireless charging case for your cell phone. So look forward to that. And again, I appreciate all the comments, and I will see you guys next week. Howdy guys! Thank you for everybody that that joined me for the chat today. I know that it was very last minute. I see Epic Elper in there. I hope you saw your part in the comment show. Yes, I know it was pretty quick. I was definitely running short on time this week, but generally, you know, my comment shows are 1 or 2 minutes long, so so that's actually about the same. Yeah, sorry if the quality is bad. I'm doing this over wireless in my room, which last week or last month I actually didn't. I did it closer to my router, and it was a lot better. And so if there's any lag, if the video quality is bad, that is why. But I just thought this would be more comfortable, more familiar. Alright, let's see. Do you guys have any questions? Because I do have a lot of things that I would like to talk about regarding the channel. Spell my name out loud. No, and when you say answer me, I am not your little puppet. So I don't have to answer you. But I did, so there you go. I answered you. My answer is no. Let's see. Who's the best pony? So here's the thing: is I have a nephew that loves the My Little Pony game, and I have not gotten into it. My brother, however, I would say is an absolute brony, absolutely, because he plays it all the time. He knows the name of all of them. I think the only one that I know currently, maybe two. I think there's like Stormy or Applejack. You know. That's it. I'm not even going to embarrass myself. The glasses are awesome. Why, thank you so much. I think they were like $50 online. They actually have interchangeable lenses. I go over my glasses about every live stream, but that's okay. I think they're cool too. You guys are welcome to think they're cool. You forgot when and why you subbed. Yeah, I've been around for a long time. Are you a car guy? Not particularly. I would like to hack cars, but as far as like a favorite type of car, probably the James Bond car, the Aston Martin. Are you streaming this on the Twitch-O-Matic? No, sadly. Let's see. Regards from Belgium. Hello. Regards from America. What do you think about Tesla? Nikola Tesla or Tesla, the auto company? Are you the same guy that asked about cars? No. I have different answers depending on which Tesla you're talking about. Make a merch for glasses. There actually is already a merch for these glasses. I bought these from somebody else. It wasn't on Amazon, but it was definitely like a steampunk shop online. I'll have to look up where it is. But, oh, Good Bean's at work. You actually work, Good Bean? Good job. Yeah, but you can look these up online. Just look for steampunk shops. I don't know if it's American-based only or if they ship internationally. Tesla, the car company. I think the Tesla vehicles are very ambitious. I do applaud Elon Musk for what he's wanting, like his goal, like to get people off of carbon emissions and find better resources for, or creating better resources for battery production. Because the battery industry really needs to be disrupted, and I think that's what he's trying to do amongst a lot of other things. The cars themselves, I don't think battery technology is quite there yet, to be honest with you, for cars. I mean, he makes some very good cars, but batteries are still very expensive. They still use a lot of, you know, hard to resource materials that cost a lot, and they're hard to dispose of. They're probably just as bad for the environment as far as battery disposal as gasoline would be, just about. And as far as like yeah, where they resource stuff, there's a lot of shady stuff on how they get some of the resources for batteries going on. So I mean, it's just not quite there yet, but I think that's what he's trying to fix. So yeah, I applaud it. I applaud it. I just, as far as Teslas, the cars, I don't think they're there yet. And that's primarily because of the batteries. But again, that's what he's working on. Weirdest thing you've done? Create a YouTube channel. Oh, you're from India. Well, hello. Let's see. Tech support for a hospital. It's hard to comment live. Oh, well, thank you for joining and thank you for commenting. I think that's an admirable job working for a hospital and doing tech support. What are your political views? That's a trap. That's a honey trap right there. Let's see. I'll say as far as politics, both sides are needed. I think that there are great people on both sides, and you know, if you take the views of one, take the views of another, and you actually listen to both sides and come up with a solution that appeases both sides, and you probably have one of the better solutions if you can appease both sides. But it's coming to a resolution between the two political sides that makes it really difficult because neither want to settle. What are some ideas for future products? Great question. All right, so this kind of leads me to the future of what I want to do. So let me tell you guys this much. My current sponsors, they like the Raspberry Pi projects, the build projects that I do. So I am going to continue doing those. To what extent, I'm not sure. But I do want to get back into programming videos. I would like to do some more of those to get them out. So I guess what I'm going to be working on is just a very simple way to create like basic tutorial videos. Like creating a Python web server, for instance, or creating a Windows application using Python. And then just if I can come up with a video idea like that and get the video done from beginning to end within a couple days, then I can start cranking out more videos. And I would like to do that. Plus, you know, making the large build videos. But as far as, you know, being able to do that, I'm still going to have to figure out the balance of actually getting that done. So it may be a few months before I can start cranking out the programming videos again and the basic videos. But I would love to do that. I would love to get back into that. But because of my current obligations, I still have to make the build videos, which I love doing as well. They just take a little bit more time and commitment to do. As far as video ideas, I can actually bring some up. So the one that I mentioned that I'm doing next week is a wireless charger for cell phones. I'm going to try to build one into a case so you can just put a case on your phone and make a wireless charger out of it. I'm going to be using my old S3, Galaxy S3, putting a wireless charger on that. Why am I using an older phone? Because I don't want to accidentally fry a new phone, my current phone. That would just make me sad. All right, how's your kid doing? Very good question, but personal question. Being a father takes a lot of time. Raising a kid takes a lot of time. And I know that like having any type of pet does. It requires a lot of commitment, like dogs or cats. The benefit of having a child is they eventually learn to take care of themselves. That's something that dogs and cats don't do. But at this point in his life, it requires a lot of time and attention. And you know, as it gets older, I may be able to spend more time on these videos and make more videos. But we'll just have to see. What's your favorite project ever on your channel? I think uh, homemade 3D printer that I did, the CD-ROM 3D printer. And speaking of future videos, I do want to bring that back as another video, maybe showing some upgrades, some different ways to upgrade it, and I want to add an easy cheese extension to it so you can print with easy cheese or whipped cream. I think that would be very cool. Yeah, the chat is great today. Somebody said the chat is really nice today. I really like what you guys are saying so far. Really good chat. Let's see. I want to build some of your ideas. Great. I have documentation for all of them. Arduino guy, I really like you. You remind me of me when I was not as freakishly old as I am now. Let's see. Somebody had, I don't see the, oh yeah. Alan YT, I want to learn about hacking and cracking. Need help. Yes, you do need help because you speak in all caps. That's okay though. So if you want to learn about hacking and cracking, the best thing to do is just start making stuff. Start with something small. A good small project is that Python virus thing that I made. You know, just you have to explore. You can't really expect somebody to teach you about it. Don't waste money on courses. Everything you need is online. Everything you need is on YouTube. Just, you know, find something simple and just kind of work from there. I'd recommend picking a programming language and a platform. If you're going to be working with Windows a lot, then definitely get a more Windows-specific programming language. I think the one that can do the most damage to Windows is like C and C#, because that can get deep down into the bare metal of the Windows programming. You know, but if you want to do more stuff over internet, start looking into JavaScript and things like that. But I mean, it's mainly up to you. It's not really anything that can or should be taught. Most of the best hackers out there are the ones that that are self-taught. They just did stuff. They explored. They experimented. You know, you want to find all the boundaries that you can push and just start pushing on them. It's more about your motivation. If you're waiting for somebody to tell you or teach you, then I can already tell you're not motivated enough. You have to be willing to get out there and do it yourself, and just be willing to jump right in. And if you're not willing to jump right in and spend the time doing it and figuring stuff out yourself, then you're already at a disadvantage. But yeah. Let's see, what other questions? C#. Yeah, C# is a good one. Yeah, C++ is lower level, I agree. Don't shave, just grow those beards. Yeah, beards get itchy to me. I always shave. I try to always do videos when I have, you know, like the 5 o'clock shadow or whatever. But I don't like to grow it out because it's very itchy. I need to find some solution to that. Do you like Taylor Swift? Sure. I will say, I feel like I've been asked that question before. What is it with you guys and Taylor Swift? I will say that I think that she is a really good entrepreneur. Like, as far as her being able to get her early recording deals and early negotiations with her music, and negotiations with like Spotify and stuff. She is really inspiring when it comes to if you want to start your own business. I think that she is very good at that, and I think she's done a good job. So if you're an entrepreneur, you know, you could probably take some good tips for it. As far as music, you know, music's music. Artists are artists. I think it's fine. I appreciate all types of artistry. How do you feel about Python? I love Python. It's my new favorite programming language. It's very easy to use, very easy to understand. Runs on all the major platforms. So as long as you have Python installed, you can write a program once and run it on Windows, Mac, and Linux. It has some good libraries like Django for making web applications, so you can make some good web applications. Yeah, they pretty much have libraries for just about anything, and that's the beauty of it. Is it's so versatile. It's a very good versatile programming language. I like Python and I like JavaScript, and because they're pretty simple. And between the two of those, you can get some good simple programs and web applications out of them. What do you think about Flask? Flask is awesome. If you're wanting to learn how to make a simple web server using Python, that's a great beginner's utility is Flask. Not as full-fledged as Django, but still pretty cool. Yeah, that's what's awesome about Python is it's a simple language to begin with, and a lot of the libraries they have out there are targeted towards ease of use and beginners, and there's some really awesome ones. I found out just recently about a program called AppJar, or it's a library called AppJar for Python that allows you to create really simple graphical user interfaces. Node.js is greater than Flask. I think as far as like the utilities, depending on what you're needing, I think that both are very good. Node.js is definitely better for web application type stuff. If you're wanting to interface with hardware stuff, like on the Raspberry Pi, I kind of like Flask a lot better because you can tie it to Python programs that you've already written. And Node.js is really good too, really good programming language. Let's see. Do you follow the Gucci Gang? No. Let's see. What music do you listen to? Just about everything but country. I'm not a big country music fan. If you want to get started on Raspberry Pi world, pick up a Raspberry Pi Zero W and get hacking and experimenting. If you fry, it's only $5. That's very good tip. Yeah, Raspberry Pi is just great if you want a small computing system to just test stuff. To just and you can make it portable. You can take it almost anywhere. It's cheap. It doesn't take up a lot of space, and it doesn't take up a lot of power. Have you ever programmed in Perl? No, I have not. Perl has been around for a long time. I feel like it's getting a little bit less popular than it used to be. Kind of fading out just a bit because of other programming languages. Do you play any games? I have kind of run out of time to play any games, unfortunately. When I was in college, I used to play a lot. I do like the Call of Duty series. I like the BioShock series. I like series with good storylines behind them. Any type of games with really good storylines behind them. I'm definitely a story person. If I'm doing LAN gaming, I love first-person shooters. As far as like strategy games, I'm not that big into them. Although I did really like. I'm blanking on the name. The Cake is a Lie. That game. What? Why am I blanking on the name? Portal. There we go. Portal was good. Let's see. What is your full-time job? So my full-time job is working at a local makerspace that just happens to be owned by the county. It is actually located in a mall currently, but it is going to be moving to a library at some point. Libraries are definitely getting more involved with the makerspace movement. But yeah, I really like it. I've had plenty of different jobs over the years. Haven't been happy with a lot of them. I worked at Dell for a while, Dell Computers, and and I worked at a research company for a while, um, and I've gone back and forth between doing those and doing my YouTube videos full time. The only thing about doing YouTube videos is you have to pay for your own insurance. You have to, keep an eye on your own taxes, file your own taxes and things like that. And I just found having a different job, that helps balance that out and take care of your benefits where you don't have to pay for them has been much better for me, especially now with a family. It's definitely been much better. What are you wearing on your hat? My glasses. My awesome glasses. Alright, let's see. What are some occupations you think machines will soon replace? That's a deep question. I think that there's definitely been a movement of, what do they call them? They call them cobots. I don't know if you guys have heard of that. I think it's going on currently in China, where you don't have robots replacing you with your jobs, but you have robots assisting you, like doing the menial tasks and helping you out, where you're working alongside robots as opposed to being replaced by robots. I think that a lot of industries are going to be automated, and I think that that's fine. I think that that the future of jobs is going to be in programming and learning robotics and stuff. Like, I think a majority of jobs, that's what it's going to be. And so if you don't know any programming languages, get on it, because that will be your job security. At university, one of my friends made his thesis in Flask and Angular. It was a GTFS-based stuff with Route Planner. This is the only Python web stuff that I know. But yeah, it's very versatile, like I said. Too deep to answer. Yeah, probably. Because, I don't know what there's going to be a lot of backlash between automation. So I don't really, I think robots are going to end up, I think the development of robots is being more to assist and more to help as opposed to take over. At least that seems to be the trend. All of the, you have like your artificial intelligence and things like that. But yeah, a lot of like the robots that Amazon, for instance, is creating and putting out is to assist and not replace. I think that may be the future, more along the lines of, we're all going to be sitting at home doing nothing. Any suggestions on good tutorials on GUI programming? I don't have any at the time. Sorry. Maybe I'll make you some. That's the hope, right? Alright. AI is the end of humans. Okay. What do you think about Google's duplex AI calling system? I haven't looked into that. Can you explain what that's about? China charlatan? So I don't have to look it up. Google Assistant. AI is good. I think AI can be good too. I really like what Google did. Just recently they announced it, I think it was this past week, where they created an AI that kind of encourages you to say please and thank you. Because I've really been interested in technology now. Now that I have a child, I've been interested in technology and what role it plays in development of children. And one interesting thing I heard is, a child doesn't know the difference between if they're talking on the phone to an actual person or if they're talking to an artificial intelligence, because they can't see who's on the other end. so they don't know the difference. So whenever kids are talking to like Google Assistant or the Amazon Echo, Siri, you know, any of those things, it doesn't prompt them to be courteous. Like, it doesn't prompt you to say please and thank you or hello and goodbye even. So it's you know, been assumed that if a child starts growing up only talking to artificial intelligence, they're not going to know how to interact with actual human beings. So one thing that Google did was create a version for kids that encourages them to say please and thank you and things like that while they interact. So I think that that's kind of interesting as far as development. Yeah, that type of thing has become more of an interest to me since I have a child, is technology and development, like mental development. All right, guys. Oh, do you know any German words? I do. I took German in high school. And I know a few German phrases. My pronunciation is terrible. What do you think about Sophia, the AI? Is that is Sophia the one in Silicon Valley? Who was that? Can't remember that. If you guys haven't seen Silicon Valley on HBO, it's hilarious. Google Duplex will call people on your behalf to make appointments, bookings, etc., while responding to the person like a human without detection. Very interesting. You know, I'd like to use that service to get me out of uncomfortable situations. Just to have somebody call the person or call me and say, hey, you have a meeting, blah, blah, blah. All right. There's a question up here. Oh, yeah, the German words. Wie geht's? Or Wie geht es Ihnen? Or Wo wohnst du? Let's see. Wie viel Geld brauchst du denn? Let's see, there's, you know, the links and the rechts and the Flughafen. Yeah, I'm going to stop there. I like German, though, because I want to go to Switzerland. That is on my bucket list. That is, I would love to visit Switzerland. I think it's a beautiful place. Love their cheese. Love their watches. This, oh, by the way, this is my new smart watch. It was part of a Kickstarter program. It's called Z-Time, Z-E Time, and it has actual hands on it, but then it has a touch screen interface. So you can still get notifications on it. It'll do fitness tracking. You can check your messages, different things like that. But it has actual hands. So you don't have to turn it on to see what time it is. And I think that that's what's interesting. And so it saves a ton of battery life because you're not always having to turn off the screen when you just want to see what time it is. But yeah, it has all the functions of most smart watches, where it tracks your heart rate, tracks your steps, gives you notifications, and you can choose which apps on your phone you want notifying. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's called ZE Time, and the Kickstarter launched about a year ago, and they actually fulfilled all of their Kickstarter promises within like 8 months. So good for them, and happy for me. All right, let's see. How can things be open source and earn money, excluding things like giving technical assistance? So why would you want something to be open source and earn money? That's one question. The other thing is, I mean, basically because they just seem to be two different schools of thought. But another thing is if you're doing open source software, that's something that's a bit harder. But if you're doing something like open source hardware, that's a bit easier because you can sell like kits and things like that. Or if it's open source software, you know, you can maybe you can do plugins and stuff that cost a little bit, or something like that. But yeah, there's a lot of companies out there that will you know, use open source software and hardware, but they will like assemble it for you, have it packaged together, and sell you the package. But if you wanted to build it yourself, or you wanted to use the software yourself, you could, which is always an option. But a lot of people tend to opt for something that they can purchase as a package and not have to worry about building it themselves. So it's easier to do with open source hardware, not as easy to do with software. Let's see. Yeah, Arduino is open source, for instance. Such a shame that we didn't invent e-ink displays yet. By the way, about small battery time, the old Beta, I don't know, watch needs to be recharged every 72 hours if I'm lucky. So yeah, this watch, it can last for a week with regular use with just one charge. Because I actually tested that out. I did it. I went on vacation and did not bring my charger intentionally, and it still had like a quarter of its battery life by the time I got back. Let's see, and you know, you can also adjust it so that it limits its Bluetooth connectivity, and if you do that, I think the battery can last for about a month, which is really nice. What do you think about genomic editing technology like CRISPR and Cas9? That I have no experience in, so I would not be able to give you a good answer. But I do like your questions. You guys have had some great questions. How many of your parts do you get off eBay? I don't use eBay as much. eBay is definitely very good for obscure things. So I'll use it if I need something, you know, like my Teddy Ruxpin, which you can kind of see his feet in the closet there. That's my Teddy Ruxpin. I got that off of eBay because you just can't really buy them anywhere else except for used. So they're kind of hard to find. So eBay is very good for obscure things, old robots, old technology, things like that. So if I wanted a VCR and couldn't find a place locally that would sell me one, I'd probably get it off eBay, for instance. Do you like AliExpress? AliExpress I haven't used yet. I know that it's basically the eBay for the rest of the world, and it's becoming larger and larger. But I haven't used it yet just because I haven't had a need. I already have an eBay account, and I've had one for a while, so I just use that when I need it. But AliExpress I know is cheaper. And yeah, I just haven't used it yet. How well did that CNC machine made from CD drives work? So it did fine. Basically, it depends on what I wanted to use it for. If I wanted to use it for a laser engraver, it worked great. If I wanted to use it for a CNC machine that, you know, would write something down using a pen or pencil, it worked great. The only thing is that I used different CD drives for each of the axes, and sometimes they would bind, sometimes they would get caught up. So what I've done is I've ordered a new set of all the same CD-ROM drive trays, axes, and I'm going to be using those. They're a little bit more durable. So as far as upgrading the parts, that's what I'm doing, because I really want it to be able to support more weight. I really want to do like a CNC engraver, a router. I think that would be awesome. But yeah, talking about genetics, what about biological-based hardware? We weren't talking about genetics, but thank you. You guys in the chat can continue. I'm just not as good at that. A brain-computer interface, that would be awesome. So have you guys seen Westworld yet on HBO? That's, as far as like technology and artificial intelligence, that's a good one to be watching, if you guys are into that. Do you like the Zuck? As much as any CEO, I guess. I mean, he's, you know, as a college student, he didn't seem like that nice of a guy. Once he started becoming a public figure, he seemed to be doing a bit better. But I don't think he knows that much about his own company. At least I'm not getting that. But as far as a person, you know, he seems fine. Just, you know, like any other CEO, like Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos. You know, they all have their flaws. Especially, yeah, I mean, if you compare him to like Jeff Bezos, you know, they both have their flaws. Zuck is a little younger, or quite a bit younger actually, and is just kind of inexperienced. You know, you have to imagine he's only had one thing to do for his entire life as far as a job, and most of that other people did for him. Zuck stole Facebook from 2 other people. I think it was the idea. He actually coded Facebook himself, so I guess the code was his from the beginning, but the idea I think was suggested. Let's see. CNC part picker, that's awesome. Showed in your video, but at the last moment the tracks were just kind of vibrating and it was not moving around the axes. Any ideas? Yes, TNG DKS. I would say it's your motor drivers or power. I would check the power, make sure everything's grounded properly, because I've run into that problem and it ended up being that I didn't have all the grounds wired properly, like they weren't all connecting to each other. You need to have the ground of the Arduino and the ground of all the motors, motor drivers, all connected together. If you don't, you'll get the vibrating and stuff. So just check your wiring, because I guarantee that that's it. What is the subject like to talk about? Let's see. Change the current limit. Current limit may be it as well. So yeah, I've had a similar issue, and yeah, it's either too much power, too little power, or the ground isn't wired together. All right, guys, I have talked for quite a while. I'm going to have to end it here, but it's been a pleasure talking to you all, y'all, Yenses. Let me get Southern for you guys just a minute. It's been very good talking to you all. Very good questions. I really appreciate it. Look forward to more chats like this. I'm going to continue doing these. And if you guys have any more ideas, just leave them in the comments. And I will see you guys next week. Have a good weekend, everyone.